Hi, my name's Chandra, and it's really hot. We're having a hot spell in the Northeast, and we're in Vermont, and it is definitely affecting us too. But there's a bit of a breeze right now, so it's a good time to take a little garden tour. I had really wanted to do this in June. It's now July 2nd. So it's still a June garden. We're just barely in July. So let me show you what we have so far. Here we are. You can hear that nice breeze. You can see everything moving. I've got a big pile of lettuce here that I just pulled out. I really barely ate any of it. We had it one time, I think. We had like a really hot little spell early, and then it got cold again, but it really didn't help the lettuce, and I'm not very garden oriented this year, but I did still put stuff in. I gave 2 beds away, one to each of my kids, so that helped with having less to do. And these here are all potatoes that we missed when we harvested potatoes last year. So that really took care of having to do too much with the garden. So I have in this big bed with the potatoes, a ground cherry right here, which that will get giant and fill this whole area. In fact, I was kind of counting on it filling the whole bed. And I think these potatoes will get pulled out before too long, and it can move on in. And then I've got some jalapeno peppers here. We like to have jalapeno poppers. So there's those. There's something eating the leaves a little bit, but not much. In this corner, I have a snapdragon. And over here, oh, that's another potato that's not flowering yet. I did put a little, a zinnia here. And that is yellow, but there's a little green down there. So maybe we'll find something from that later in the season. Here's a pretty nasturtium to go over the side of the bed here. And then in this bed on the side of this trellis, I have green beans because they're so easy. And I like to get at least 5 pounds of green beans to save for Thanksgiving. So I need to plant a lot of green beans to be able to eat some during the season as well. At the end of each trellis, I put a scarlet runner bean, so there's one there too, because they're beautiful. They have red flowers. The hummingbirds love them, so it brings lots of hummingbirds. And that's really just so nice for the garden. So another nasturtium on this corner. I really like these to drape over the side, so I'll keep training that to go over there. And here's some more peppers. These are like a snacking pepper. I bought these at a little farm stand. I didn't start them from seed myself, and she said they were sweet and small, like those snacking sizes, and kind of tie-dyed, so that'll be fun. I've got dill, and then the dill that didn't come up, I stuck a chard in there. I meant to buy seeds and never did, so I bought that plant. More green beans on the other side of this trellis. So this whole arch is going to be green beans, and that will fill right in. This is my son's bed. He has it packed full. This is a big pumpkin, so that's going to take over the yard right here. We won't need to mow for a while there. And then he's got some carrots and some amaranth. That's the red. They'll get really tall. That's his tall end on the side, the north side. He's got sunflowers and peas, and then just other little flowers in his garden. On the other side of the trellis that's connected to his garden, I have my peas, which are not doing as well as his. He got his in earlier, I think. The kids were much more motivated with their gardening than I was, which I knew would be the case. But we still might do okay with peas. It's getting hot, but we'll see. I've got a snapdragon here. I just love to have flowers. There's a cosmo kind of sprinkled throughout. This is a zucchini. I was really thinking I wouldn't do anything that squash bugs like this year because I just had a big problem with them last year and I didn't do anything about it. So they reproduced like crazy. But I couldn't resist. So there's a zucchini, and we'll see how it does. It's a different bed, so maybe that'll help. Beautiful sage plant. I didn't have any sage last year, and I really missed it. So that will overwinter, and now I have a sage. It'll get nice and big, hopefully. And then, of course, chives that are just always there. I keep digging them up and giving some away, and they just keep being nice and big. This bed has the lettuce that I just pulled out at that end. There's also some radishes that also went right to seed. So I didn't get any radishes, but I'm letting a couple of them stay because there's another one. It's kind of like, it's hot right now. Everything's very wilty. It did rain last night, so I'm not going to water today, but I might water tomorrow. Anyway, the radishes, when they go to seed, get these really delicious seed pods, and we like to just snack on those in the garden. So I left a couple of those. There's some lettuce to let go to seed as well. Maybe we'll collect some lettuce seeds. Now on this trellis, I have some very hot looking cucumbers, and I've got 2 to a hole because, you know, I wanted to make sure that one came up. But then it's always so hard for me. Oh gosh. Well, I guess the first part of this video is going to be vertical unless I refilm. We'll see. So yeah, I have a hard time cutting them once they've come up. How bad is it to have 2 cucumbers in each spot? Probably not great, but so I might do that, but we'll see. Parsley, and I'll leave that for a second year next year. That'll come back up. And then this I've never planted before, but that's savory. Just an herb that I will, I don't know, use or not use. We'll see. Then I've got lots of basil that's not looking great. And the same idea, I've got too many probably in each spot. And maybe I'll do something about that, and maybe I won't, because this is the kind of gardening year that I'm having. And then I've got the rest of the charge from that little 6-pack I bought, and another snapdragon. So that's it for that end of the garden. Now, oh, and I do have some volunteer dill right there. That's good. This is my daughter's bed. I do have my second year parsley in the end of it. She wasn't thrilled about that taking up space, but she let me keep it. And then she planted a lot of watermelons and the cucumbers, and then some, I think she maybe did scarlet runner beans as well. She has a bunch of zinnias that are looking really good, some cosmos, and some sunflowers. So that's a really nice flower-filled garden bed. And then my last bed has the tomatoes. So I've got, these are all slicing tomatoes. I think I put 1 cherry tomato. No, I didn't, because Leo, my son's bed, has a cherry tomato, and we really can't have more than 1 cherry tomato plant. It's too much. There's a thyme at the end here that hopefully will make it. I have some thyme back in my pepper bed as well that I don't think I showed you, or it didn't point out. But that overwintered, which is great. It doesn't always do well, but it made it, so it's nice and big this year. These are bush beans, and then I did a second row of another planting of bush beans behind, so that hopefully I can do some successive harvests. More basil here, and this is the time of year where it just looks like nothing's happening, but then July is going to explode. Everything is going to get so big. Here's a rosemary and another snapdragon. I just love snapdragons. These are volunteer sunflowers. We had a sunflower last year in this bed, same spot. Obviously, that's why they all grew right there. And we left it over winter. And I can see this corner of my garden really well from my couch. And we had a cardinal that would come and sit on the sunflower and eat the sunflower seeds all winter long, and obviously fertilized and dropped a lot of seeds underneath it. And that was so fun to watch. So hopefully we'll have a similar scenario this year. Let's go back, and we'll talk about these beds again because we missed the thyme. Here's the thyme right here. Look how great that looks. And here, and it's flowering, and it's beautiful, and of course it smells really good when you touch it. I love herbs in the garden, and also it's good for keeping away bugs you don't want, and good for drawing in the pollinators. There's also a borage right here that's just self-seeded, and that's also really great for pollinators, and the blossoms taste like cucumber a little bit, so it's nice in a salad. So I think that covers the whole, here's tips. Speaking of herbs, there's tarragon. I'm not sure if I pointed that out. That is the garden here. Now over here, I think I've showed this in past years. I have several of these garden tours that you could check out that playlist. You've got a nice rose right here, and then, well, we've had hazelnuts we've had for quite a while that did produce hazelnuts for the first time last year. And these are Nanking cherries, which is a small cherry. I tried one today. I don't know if there's any more. It's kind of tart. It's more for baking, but it wasn't so tart that I wouldn't eat it. Oh, here they are. So they're pretty small. see if I can get, there it is. It's pretty small. This one's white, it'll turn red. And these get to be about as big as those hazelnuts. So we'll have a little row of that here. And then we did plant blueberries early last year. So I have 4 blueberry plants and we're getting some blueberries this year. And then raspberries at the end. So that is our little fruit garden and vegetable garden here. And even though I wasn't really into it that year, it doesn't take much to throw some stuff in. It helps having kids because they want to do stuff. So they helped me get going on starting some seeds. So we'll see how this looks in about a month. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you probably for another baking or cooking video next time.